Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Sound of Metal. So this is about a drummer who's in a metal band, or does metal drumming, you know what I mean, for a rock band, whatever. And he starts to lose his hearing, and the doctors tell him the condition's going to worsen, and of course that's going to hurt his career. His girlfriend Lou checks the former addict into rehab for the deaf. So I don't know. I had this on my list for a while. It's Riz Ahmed. Seen him in a lot of different things. Really good. So I don't know. It's been on my list forever, and now I just realized it's on Amazon Prime. So if you're a Prime member, it's free. So I'm gonna watch it. It is 2 hours long, and it's 7.8 on IMDb. So that's a pretty nice score. I don't know how. Let me see how many people. Oh, 240 people. See, Prime shows you right on the screen. Isn't that great? 240 people only rated it so far. So we'll be 241. I'll find out if it's any good. 2 hours. I know it's more of a weekend type movie, but I'm going to get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, then ultimately I'll let you know what I think. Stick around. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Sound of Metal. We're at the 1 hour, 8 minute, and 30 second mark. You know, and there's still 52 minutes left to go, and it's hard. It's not hard to watch. It's not as gripping as maybe you would hope. So Ruben, our main character here, he's Riz Ahmed. He's in a metal band with his girlfriend. It's just the two of them, and at some point he just goes deaf. You know what I mean? It slides away very, very quickly. Couldn't imagine it. It's got to be awful, but. In addition to that, he's also a recovered drug addict, so he's clean for 4 years. And of course, once he goes through this disaster, he, maybe starts thinking about it. Nothing happens, but his sponsor finds a place for him for ex-addicts and deaf people. So of course, he's reluctant to go and doesn't really want to go there. And his girlfriend kind of wants him to, but then he doesn't, and whatever, he ends up there. All right, long story short, he ends up there, and he's got to start developing himself, get his mind right about the fact that he's deaf and probably will never hear again. He has, he talked to a doctor, and they said he can get the cochlear implant for like $40,000 to $80,000. They're living in a van, down by the river. But yeah, so he's not really going to come up with 40 grand right away. And even if he does, the doctor says you probably will never get that same hearing back. You're only going to get a little bit. Whatever. Long story short, he's in this rehab facility, and he's got to start, doing things to start to acclimate to his new life. He goes to a school. This is my one interesting part, where there's kids, and he meets the teacher. The teacher is the girl, I don't know her name, but she's the girl from The Walking Dead, the deaf girl on The Walking Dead, which I knew, on The Walking Dead she plays deaf. I didn't know if she was really deaf or not, so I found that interesting. I never looked it up, should have assumed, but there you go. So that's another person in this movie that I know. And there's some bright moments where he's starting maybe to turn it around and start, positive things start happening. But we got 52 minutes left, so I know there's something bad's going to happen. It has to. But the hard part is, it's drawn out. I mean, that's 1 hour and 8 minutes of film I just summarized for you almost exactly to the T. So you can imagine how long that took. So it's a little drawn out in what they do, which is great. I respect it. For the film, they mute the sound as though you're deaf. So you're walking in their shoes, you know what I mean? So, which is very interesting, you know what I mean? It makes you really think and be like, man, what would you do if you lost your hearing? That kind of stuff. So, but it makes the movie harder to keep your interest. For me, you know what I mean? I don't know. At times I find you know what I mean? You really got to watch what's going on, but it's like nothing incredible. You know what I mean? It's him playing with kids. It's just muted kind of thing. So, I don't know. That's where I am with it. So we'll see where it goes. I'm surprised. I thought maybe this might have been based on a true story, but they didn't mention anything about that yet. But there we have it. good acting. I like Riz Ahmed. He's pretty good. So we'll see where it goes from here. We got 52 minutes, like I said. So can't wait to see what they have in store. So stick around. I'll be back. Okay, everybody. We're at the credits of Sound of Metal. And let me just see something. Oh, okay, I had it on mute. I didn't know, because you know, like a lot of the movie was already muted. I didn't know if the credits were. They were when they started. So you know, the next hour was, it wasn't earth shattering. There was no major shifts or anything like that. It just continues on with his story. You know, the cochlear implant kind of stuff. His girlfriend, him being at the farm, I'll call it. And you know, everything that he's going through, and he wants to get back to hearing again, you know, somehow, some way, and he wants to get back to life as normal, even though they told him it probably wouldn't be like that anymore. So he's got to make some hard decisions, right? But let's talk about the film itself. I like the acting. I thought he was great. I thought he did a tremendous job. As far as the story, I mean, everything was shot well, whatever, directed, all that fancy stuff, but the story for me just didn't do it for me. Like I said, it was hard to hold my attention a lot of the time. It was drawn out, it was long, and I understand it. I understand the whole, you know, the meaning at the end of this. Don't think that I didn't. Don't think that I missed anything, but it and that's great, and I like that aspect of it, what they were trying to say at the end, and that's great. But otherwise, it's just not, it's not a kind of movie I enjoy. Not that it's not a good movie, but it's not something for me. You know, didn't grip me. I wasn't excited. I didn't care really at the end what was going to happen. What they did was fine. I didn't care either way, to be honest with you. So there you go. I don't know what else to tell you on this one. I don't want to ruin it for you because you probably want to go see it. Just be aware. It feels long and drawn out to me because of the aspects that I had told you before. You know, the muted things, very effective. That's great. But, and the story took a long time to tell. So, that's it. That's all I got. I don't know how it's a 7.8. I guess there's some, I don't know. I get it all, but still not a 7.8 on what they're trying to say. I'm probably more at a 5. I wouldn't go down to a 4. I'll stay with a 5, although I feel like I'm forcing a 5, to be honest with you. So, there you go. Hopefully that's a little bit helpful for you. It's free, so I'll keep it at a 5 because it's free. If I had to pay for it, I might have been upset. I mean, I'd pay for Prime, but, you know, that's for the 2-day shipping. Alright, that's it. That's all I got for you. Hopefully I helped you. Drop me some comments if you check it out. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for some of those great one-liners. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.